elections are not fixed in time. We should remember the 1980 election between between Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter. We actually didn't think it was going to be a landslide election. Not even close did we think that. And the reason why is all the wrong cues we looked at. Remember, even the Hillary Clinton race, even though she won that race in the popular vote, not taking care of the little areas like Detroit and Milwaukee and other places that needed some attention. Didn't take care of that and lost the election by a whisker. They lost the electoral college by a whisker, even as she won the popular vote. But you know what? Kamala Harris is not doing any of that. Let's remember 2012. I believe it was a Gallup poll had Barack Obama down by 3, but he won by quite a bit more than, I think, 3 or 5. I don't remember how much it was he won by. So what I'm trying to say is this. Democrats always get into this fear territory about, oh my God, things are turning around. No, things are not turning around. They're just tightening up. People are going home. Are there persuadables? Of course they're persuadables. And you know what? Kamala have a whole lot on her side. The same things that I've been talking about for a long time. These are the things that ultimately, when you pull that trigger in that ballot box, it makes a difference. And that's where we are at now. And I don't even think it's going to be a close election. Like I've been saying for anybody following politics and right, I've been saying this for a very long time. And when I heard Mark McKinnon today, I said, thank you. Somebody is talking to the people on the ground like I am. Somebody is following the tea leaves like I am. And somebody is listening to women like I am. I tell you what, let's listen to Mark and then I'll take the rest on the other side.
Mark, you're right. This is a race that the vice president has to lose. Why?
Yeah, Jose, listen, I think all the data shows that it's going to be a very close race, but I think there's some clear advantages for Vice President Harris. And those advantages are what I call the gaps. There's a big gap in enthusiasm of about 10 points. And I don't think there's very many undecided voters out there. If you're undecided, you're probably not voting. So this is about motivating your support to get out there and vote, and new voters. And I think she has an advantage with both. There's a gender gap also of about 10 points of women who are supporting Harris as opposed to men who are supporting Trump. There's also a favorability gap of about 10 points, where Harris has a 10-point advantage in favorability. Trump is 10 points underwater. More people see him unfavorably. More people see Harris as with a favorable opinion, which is remarkable in this election. And then finally, I think there's a real advantage, and Republicans will admit this too, Jose, which is Democrats really have a superior ground game in place, and they're paying their workers instead of using volunteers, which the Trump campaign is doing largely. So I think on those very key and fundamental aspects, Harris has a big advantage. So my bet is she's going to win, and maybe win comfortably.
Now listen, can Kamala Harris lose this election? Of course she could lose this election, but it is hers to win. It is hers to take it. If people get into a funk and get concerned and think it's not worth it, which is why you see the Trump with the big bravado, they're going to win this, it's already in the bag. It's to get you demoralized. That's the whole point. That's the fascist modus operandi. They go out and they say the way things are, as they make believe things are the way they're not. That's what it's all about, people. There are more people who want the things that Kamala says she wants, including some that says, I can't vote for a woman. I can't vote for a person of color. Remember the stories I've told you about Barack Obama and the person in Pittsburgh, search that, or in Pennsylvania, when they asked the person's wife, who were they voting for, and how I knew that he could win. Look, we are one of the only countries in the major countries that have yet to elect a woman because of our patriarchy. Is there patriarchy all around? Yeah, but they've broken that in other places. We are yet to do it. This is when we do it. And you know why? Because the patriarchy, Donald Trump used the patriarchy to take away rights from the people that represent the largest mass in this country, women. And every time that's been done, women have revolted, women have come back. But women don't do it like men. Women don't say, I am going to get you at the ballot box. That's not what women do. Women have lived through the burden of being oppressed for so long that they have run things for a long time without saying they've run it. They've known how to make you believe that you are doing the things while they are running the show because they've had to do that. And I am betting that women are going to do the same thing they did when all those different amendments came to the Constitution where they supported women's rights. I am betting that they are going to do the same thing again when they go to those polls and because they know those polls are secret, they're going to go ahead and vote appropriately. Now, there are ads going through the internet all over that are telling women, or not just telling women, telling Americans that your vote is not private. Remember, Liz Cheney went out there and Liz Cheney reminded all her Republican brothers and sisters, when you go into that vote, your vote is between you, that machine, and your God. She said it. That vote is between you, your machine, and your God. So yes, folks, women have always known that they couldn't do things the same way the patriarchy expected a man to do it. They knew that. And what I've seen, every woman that I know that isn't an evangelical Christian, there is not one that I know that has told me they're voting for Trump. And I know a lot of women of all faiths, religions, and political persuasion. And that's what I'm hearing. I know that's empirical, but I tell you, folks, if you think you can take a right away from women and then at the same time think they are going to elect you so that you can potentially take away more or not rescind that evil deed, you can think again. McKinnon didn't only say, I think she's going to win. He said, I think it's not going to be even as close as most believe. Because remember, if they're not telling their husbands about their vote, they're not going to tell a pollster about their vote.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.